What's up, guys? The Beast and Jay here, bringing you back into the wonderful world of Arkham Knight. We are back in Gotham City, and today, as promised, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of that ever-controversial Batmobile gameplay. Now, the Batmobile is great in this game. In my opinion, everybody kind of shits on it because it's something a little bit different that people aren't really used to doing in the Batman games, but I love it. The combat is great. Driving around the city, personally, it feels the best to me. But we'll talk about it a little bit more. First of all, now this is my favorite part. Anywhere you are, there's a street in front of you. All you got to do to get the Batmobile is tap the left bumper. And here comes your boy. Excuse me. There it is. It's beautiful. It looks amazing. I have the 1966 classic Batmobile skin on. And yeah, it is a force to be reckoned with. Now, just as far as the features you can do, I have a little bit of a different setup. So if we go into the start menu, go into controls, and you see my Batmobile pursuit mode, and then my Batmobile battle mode, you'll notice that the pursuit mode is changed to the default mode that the game starts you off with. I highly recommend everybody does this because it will give you a totally different Batmobile experience. It'll give you a better Batmobile experience. So L2 becomes brake instead of holding that down to toggle into battle mode. Once you have this mode turned on, if you switch it in the settings, which I don't think I showed you actually how to do, but yeah, you'll go into game options, and you go down to Batmobile toggle, and you want that to be on. So what that does is enables you, normally you have to hold in the trigger anytime you want to be in the Batmobile's battle mode. You have to hold it in the whole time. So you have to worry about holding that in and shooting. But in this case, all you have to do is toggle it on and off with the R1 button. It's the best. It frees up all your other buttons, and it makes L2 your reverse or your brake, which is normally how you would drive a car in video games, so it's perfect. So here's all your features. You have your brake, your e-brake, your afterburner. Those are the driving modes, and then of course we have battle mode. Now battle mode, you have a number of weapons. I'm going to jump into some combat in a little bit and show you guys all the different moves that you can do in Batmobile's toggle mode, but first let's just take a cruise around the city. My favorite thing to do is these burnouts. You can kind of hold your e-brake down, jam on the gas, and take off. And there's the classic Batmobile's afterburner. Now the thing is a little bit clunky, but it's pretty agile for being as big and fast as it is. A lot of the times the guys in the game will refer to it as being a tank. But yeah, it's awesome. It's a great way to get around the city if you get a little bit bored of just grappling and gliding, which is an awesome feature of the game. Obviously, everybody does that, but it's nice. It's a nice change of pace, and it kind of sucks for Rocksteady because they were damned if they did and damned if they didn't. In that, you know, if they didn't include the Batmobile in this game, it would have been, all the fans would have been saying, oh, well, why didn't we get the Batmobile? If the last game Rocksteady's doing, we didn't get a Batmobile. Now they got the Batmobile, and the big complaint is too much Batmobile stuff. There's too much Batmobile stuff. So, I mean, I, for one, am very glad they put it in. This seems to be the only area of the game that is kind of getting mixed reviews. Everyone seems to really, really enjoy everything else. I personally like it. It's hard to take. I know it's probably a little bit hard to take what I say, you know, to the bank because I'm such a big Batman fan. But as far as talking review type of stuff and talking games for you guys and your sake on here, I remain very objective. If I didn't like this, I would tell you about it. There are things I don't like about it. Sometimes the battles with the tank mode get a little bit clunky. They get a little bit annoying. There are stealth missions where you're driving a tank and trying to be stealthy. I'm not a big fan of that. But overall, I love the Batmobile. It's really cool. Visually, it's really appealing. Flying around the city is really appealing. There's Riddler challenges that you have to use the Batmobiles to race around the city. I think that's really appealing. And another thing is, it's not just a car, it's a tool to use at your disposal. Just like another gadget on Batman's utility belt. Now, the number one thing that's really cool is when you're driving around the city and you need to get some altitude, you can double tap X and you're on your way. It pops you up really high normally, depending on how fast you're going, and you're just breaking out right into a glide. Now let's get back on that because that wasn't. It's full speed. So let me get back in the Batmobile here. and I'll show you guys how fast this thing can propel you. I love the animations too. Every time you want to get in the Batmobile, this thing comes out of nowhere and it just drops you right in there. I love it so much. So let's get some speed, and then we'll really see what this thing can do. So like, that's pretty great. You can use it just as another tool on your belt, and quite literally as well. So not only can you use it to get you around the city a little bit faster and a little bit more height, but you can actually use it as a tool. So if we go into our tools, you'll see the Batmobile remote right down here. Now once you highlight that, you can be wherever you are in the city. See, Batman's all the way up there, but you can control the Batmobile from around the city. So if you want to use it to take out thugs, take out enemies. I don't know if we can actually take out enemies, or cars rather, with in this mode, but yeah, normally you can. There's a couple of really cool things you can do with it in the game. They really work this into the puzzles and stuff like that. So I think that's a pretty good look at the driving and stuff. So now that we're kind of on the tank mode, why don't I jump into one of the challenge maps and show you guys some of the abilities of the Batmobile in its battle mode. So here we are in the Batmobile's, one of the Batmobile's challenge modes. I'll show you guys a couple of the weapons. There's 5 total, I think, including the dodge and the ram. So as you can see right here, when these guys' little targets project, that's obviously signifying you to dodge. That's the core gameplay when you're in battle mode. You'll see these guys trying to hit you, so you want to dodge out of the red and shoot. Now what I'm using now is the primary cannon. I think it's called the Vulcan cannon. The Batmobile's Vulcan cannon. There's also a little minigun. See right there, it's not as effective. It's actually really effective though if you get in close and go for these little tiny lights right here, which I'm having trouble doing, and then you get a critical hit. But it takes a lot of time, and you really put yourself open to some hits if you do that. But I think that's actually a trophy, so keep that in mind. But yeah, it's really cool. So that's one of the Batmobile's weapons. Another one is the missile lock, so I'll show you that right there. Speaks for itself. It's really awesome, very useful, and I think if you charge both of those bottom bars, you can use that up to 7 times on 7 targets, which is really cool. I'm probably gonna have to run this again to show you guys all the weapons, just because it's a little short. There's not really enough enemies to really charge up all of your weapons, but yeah, this is the battle mode. I like it a lot, you know. Okay, we can use our EMP blast right here, which, as you can see, immobilizes all of the drones around you. It's very useful as well, especially when you get surrounded in the game. A lot of these battles are a lot more difficult to overcome. You get surrounded like pretty easily, but yeah, that comes in handy. As I was gonna say, this is a very divisive mode here in the game. People either really seem to love the Batmobile or hate the Batmobile. A lot of people even had complaints about driving in the Batmobile, so I think they just wanted more of the same, it sounds like to me, which is fine. You're entitled to what you want, but I'm glad they put this in personally. Some of the stuff, there's some stealth tank battles that I wasn't crazy about. It didn't make sense to be in a tank and then have to worry about being stealthy, but the presence of Batmobile having a tank, or Batman having a tank in this game, made perfect sense to me. This guy's got this militia. He's got this army of drones coming at you. Batman's not enough to take those down. He's vulnerable to gunfire. He needed something to fight against them, and this makes perfect sense to me. So as far as when people keep saying, oh, that doesn't feel Batman to me, driving this Batmobile, driving this tank around the city doesn't feel Batman to me, I don't really see where they're coming from. I'm a big Batman fan, as I mentioned many times, and you know, he goes as far as to say he needs to be something more tonight. He's pretty sure that this is gonna, and this is not a spoiler because the whole game is based around this premise, but he's pretty sure this is gonna be his last night as Batman. So what is he gonna do? He needs to really fight for his city, and when there's an army of tanks around, why not bring your own tank? You know, fight tanks with tanks. So we're almost at the last. There we go. The last weapon here is hacking device, so you can actually take over these drones. These green ones are ones we've taken over. Now we have 4 drones fighting for us right now against this one little drone back here that I think they already took out, actually. So oh no, they're going for him. They're going for him. He doesn't stand a chance. So you can just really chill and not take any damage and just wait for them to destroy everything around you. And then when it's over, they'll actually destroy themselves, I'm pretty sure, which is pretty cool. Or I think they made self-destruct. I'm not really sure. Yeah, they self-destruct. So there you go, guys. That's a look at all of the Batmobile's weapons. That's a quick look at the battle mode. In-game, it's a little bit different. There's a lot of more tanks around. Sometimes you'll have to be in the vehicle mode and fight, which you have a couple of weapons in that. It's just really a lock-on EMP missile, and then your RAM when you use your super boost. But other than that, it's very much the same experience. I love it, you guys. Check it out for yourself. Let me know what you guys think about the Batmobile combat below in the comments. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to check out this and much more on Batman Arkham Knight. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at @thebeast_NJ to find out when my videos are going live, when my live streams are going live, which if you want to catch those, you can follow me over at twitch.tv/thebeastnj. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a lot more in store for you, Batman Arkham Knight-wise, as well as all kinds of other fun stuff I have planned. So stick right here on the Beast NJ's YouTube channel. Have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you next time.